Hey, welcome back to the Wisdom Letter. Let's talk about, well, we talked about are you boring anyway, but think about sitting through a boring presentation that we all have. When you're talking to your teammates, when you're in a sales meeting, make sure things aren't boring. There's enough boring in today's world where we shouldn't be boring because, as we talked about in the last Wisdom Letter, you don't have to be boring talking about hospital gowns, donuts, Swiss cheese. All three of those you can wrap your stories around. So what other stories do you have not to be boring? What claims or injuries or disasters, because claims is an insurance word, has your client or a future client had to write their check for? Now, that's distasteful. Most people think that everything that happens, the insurance company is going to write their check. Let's talk about writing checks, not being covered. Now, if you're going to say being covered, that hospital gown analogy from the last time works. But writing checks, people can see when they have to write the check compared to you writing the check, compared to the insurance company writing the check. So now you've attacked them emotionally. And that's what sells, right? People buy on emotion, and they prove it on logic. And we always use the car metaphor to show that. Every time we buy a new car, we see a lot more of the cars we bought on the road on our way home. So we've justified it emotionally. You'll make our sale quicker by touching to the emotions right away, by talking about when your prospective client had to write a check for something that happened to them. And if they didn't, now you have an understanding that they've had no losses, no claims, or in our language, no disasters or people injured. And we want to use common language like we talk about all the time. So rehearse and practice that at your sales meetings. We should have a different word for a sales meeting because that's kind of boring. So create a word for your agency that describes those sales meetings. You don't have to become a performer. You just have to use the right words that buy a piece of your client's mind and start making a list of those words for you and other folks in your agency so you can share and practice at your newfound sales meeting. See you next time.